Hello everyone, welcome back to the Revival. Today it's a double header, first in the Champions League away at the Olympiacos home stadium, the Berg Stadion, and then away to Chelsea at Stamford Bridge in the Premier League. Starting off of course with the Champions League match, this one really not very important in terms of the result. We're already through. The sharp-eyed among you will have noticed that Alan Saint-Maximin is injured, and he will be injured until sometime in December. We're already halfway through December as it is, so there's a very good chance that he'll be back after only 1 or 2 matches. But in the meantime, we're going to have to make some changes to counter that injury. First of all, Schubert not in the best of form, and again, as I said, this really not the most important match we're going to be playing even today. So we're going to be bringing in Dubravka for Schubert in goal. Also, Mathieu will be getting a run out at left back, with Willems being decidedly off the boil. And finally, Hayden is going to make way for Bodmer. While we're at it, Coco is starting to look a little bit tired, so we're going to also play Ribery out on the right hand side there, even though Coco and Joel Linton, actually, do you know what, Joel Linton's looking to be in great form, and even though Werner is actually better rested, I think it's a good excuse to get the Brazilian back into the starting lineup, allow him to stretch his legs a little bit and see what he can do for us. Now, Juan Fran has obviously joined the team, although he won't be with us for very long. When January comes around, he's going to head out. But that being said, it's a good opportunity to give him a game. So Henriks is going to not even make the matchday squad, I don't think. Instead, Yedlin will come in for Willems, and Castledine will come onto the bench for Almiron. We're going to really shake things up today. Should we bring Verdonk in as well? Yeah, why not? Hayden was looking absolutely knackered. He's in desperate need of a rest. I don't even want to be tempted to bring him off the bench. So that's going to be our starting 11 for today versus Olympiacos. I won't read it out for you. You could always go back and pause it if you want to read the full lineup. And we're going to have Olympiacos in their traditional red and white stripes, and we are going to be playing in a very dull green away shirt. I like this music. It's stirring and rousing and not at all like the actual Champions League. I don't mind the Champions League music, but this is at least, you know, it's fresh, it's new, it's original, so at least to me.
Newcastle emerging for this
right, here we go.
Game here, the tournament still in its relative infancy, but it is already developing into quite a spectacle, and that of course is what you expect.
Junior getting a chance. Oh, hello, we've already intercepted the ball. It's a good ball through. Joel Linton. Oh, I tell you what, if he had the opportunity there, he wasn't quite able to lose his man.
Must be amongst the favoured arenas of supporters all over the world. It really does have a very special feel to it.
Okay, let's just settle the game down. Dear oh dear, he says that and then immediately loses the ball in the dangerous area. That's a good tackle from Bodmer though, immediately justifying his selection. And Kunku with a loose ball. Loose balls all over the pitch at the moment, and another one. And the ball's through to Ribery, squares it, and that's an easy tap-in for Joel Linton. Although, honestly, what he's doing, putting it back towards the goalkeeper, I will never know. He tried everything he could to miss it, but in the end, the goalkeeper unable to keep the ball out of the back of the net. And it's Olympiacos 0, Newcastle 1.
Exactly where he wanted the ball, and it all came good.
A few loose balls today already, and we've been the beneficiaries of this one. Going to have to make sure that we don't foul it up at the other end and let them back in with a similar mistake.
Newcastle have an early lead. Good start. Looking cross-field, changing the point of attack. Gets away
I'm liking
from his
what I'm seeing
opponents.
so far. Junior stretching his legs. He's got a little bit of pace himself, the lad. Good cross into the box, unable to get a header onto it. Ribery not really known for his aerial ability, not even in the second incarnation.
Olympiacos have pushed both fullbacks into quite advanced positions here.
Yeah, that's
Kunku coming out to put pressure on Bruno, unable to win the ball. Instead it's moved indoors first for Tunis, now out to Kutris, into Podence, Bouchlakis. Oh, they're tearing us to pieces here, and luckily we're able to... Oh!
It's a corner.
No, it is a corner. Okay, the commentators just confusing me for a second. I was fairly certain that we'd put that out for a corner. Good clearance by Lascelles. Ribery on the chase, trying to win it back, not quite managing it, and that will probably be called back for a foul if nothing comes of this attack. Bodmer, good defensive midfield work there, and now the break is on. If Joelinton can get onto this, he's got the legs on his opposing number, and surely it's number 2. Oh, it's off the post! He's put it off the post. Oh, Joelinton.
Well, the run was really
why do you do this to me, son?
Was depressive, and expectations were not met.
Everything done right until the finish. We can afford to be a bit more relaxed, but on a different day, I would be doing my conkers over him missing a chance like that. Oh, he's won the ball back again. This defence are not at it at all today. Good through ball. Oh, it's a heavy touch. It's a very heavy touch. The selections so far all paying off. Not seeing anyone not performing out there. Oh, nearly intercepted again.
The score is 1-0.
The Olympiacos coach is going to have a word with his boys at half-time, because at the moment they are 6s and 7s. They're not even 6s and 7s. That would be good in this game. They're all 3s and 4s. That's a nice little ball through. Joelinton uses his strength. Vinicius Junior on the left wing crosses it. Oh, it's a bad cross though. I don't think he's naturally left-footed, and it really shows in situations such as that.
Doesn't get the pass he's looking for. Jonjo Shelvey. Nkunku.
That's a good ball. Can he get onto it before it's out? Yes, he can. Vinicius keeps it in. Great play by the lad.
And that's been levered clear.
Good pressure from the midfield, containing the counter-attack somewhat. Olympiacos having to hold it up until they can get numbers forward. Good interplay in the middle of the park. Playing with triangles. That's a foul, but I'll let him run on. Now we can go in and try and win it again.
Valbuena. Tunis.
Ah, very, very good by Nkunku.
Vinicius Junior. Nkunku. Chooses to go back.
Not entirely sure what that was that I was trying to do there.
Ribery. Newcastle have it back and they can go again.
Kunku out to Mathieu, plays it back to Bodmer. Looking for options where we can find them. Mathieu again out on the left wing. Can he put in a Willem-style cross? It's not a bad cross, it's not a bad shot, it's a good goal! Superb goal there by the number 9 Joelinton, second goal of the game. And I'm beginning to wonder if he shouldn't feature slightly more in the Premier League. If only there was a way that we could get all of our attacking players on the field at the same time. But we really do have an embarrassment of riches in this team. And 3 up front really is the way forward. Unfortunately, that means you can only have one orthodox centre forward, and it's either Werner or Joelinton in those situations. Look at that finish. Nice little dinked cross by Mathieu. Didn't have to do much with it because Joelinton absolutely spanking it into the back of the net on the bicycle kick. It's 2-0 Newcastle.
Newcastle grab a couple of goals without reply. It's 2-0.
We're looking at a very different game now. The command has been established.
For Tunis.
doing well with the ball still. They're a danger. If we let them back into this one, we'll have no one to blame but ourselves.
Really good feet.
Ooh, nearly.
Oh, shooting chance!
Got close control there, Junior. He's able to take it out of trouble. And that's half-time. And as we can see, at half-time, it's Olympiacos 0, Newcastle 2. 2 goals from Joel Linton. The second in particular, absolutely spectacular.
Newcastle go in at half-time on a
very happy with the result so far. Very happy with the performance, despite the lack of the ball and inferior passing statistics. You can see that we're absolutely in control where it counts. Going to leave things as they are for the second half. See if we can get more out of these boys.
And the second half gets underway. Battles to win it
That's
back.
well won.
And we're not going to make any further progress now.
Another loose ball, giving us back control in our own half. Shelby plays it out wide to Juanfran.
He's made sure that that won't get through.
Haven't really said much about Juanfran so far. He's not really been pressed into action.
Get it forward quickly. Plays it out to the flank.
Of course, sometimes it's nice to not have heard the name of your defenders.
Vinicius Junior.
It's a good ball. If he can get onto it, he can't.
Well played. He saw that
Maybe
coming.
not such a great ball after all. Junior still finding his way into the team, learning what his teammates like in terms of service.
And it's played forward. And it's Valbuena.
They've got some strong players.
Back into the middle.
Able to hold you off very easily, even with their slight frames and figures. Ah, it's well intercepted.
Ribery.
Oh, that's a ball.
Ribery
what a ball that is to Junior. Junior's on his own. I think he's going to have to take a shot. He's not really done too well with it, although to be fair, the angle wasn't really giving him much. Maybe a little bit anxious to get that that goal, which would confirm his arrival.
Tries to dink it in.
He has scored for us before, but his performances haven't been consistent, and that's resulted in him not playing too much as a starting player. Instead, he's come off of the bench more often than not. That's a good shot. It's wide. Goalkeeper saw it coming the whole way. No worries there whatsoever. And we press on. 63 minutes on the clock. We'll have a quick look at the team, see if anyone needs replacing. No, everyone's pretty good. The only player that I would be tempted to change at this point would be Nkunku. In fact, Castledine could do with a run out, so we might do that now just to preserve his legs a little bit.
Now some movement on the bench, and we are going to see a change.
So the Greek international coming on against his compatriots. We'll see what he can do against them.
Mathieu, who does have an assist.
In truth, more of a stopgap signing than one that was made with any real strategy in mind.
Talk about singling someone out.
Well, his stealth has been compromised because of his goal.
To be honest, for the money that we're paying him in wages and the fact that he came as a free transfer, couldn't really argue with the purchase. It was a case of really needing a body at that point, and obviously then we went out and splashed a decent amount of cash on Junior.
Looks to thread it through.
He had the pace on him, but he was just blocked off by the defender a little bit, and that arrested his ability to get onto the ball before the goalkeeper could intercept. Oh, now this could be dangerous if we're not careful with the defending. Just need to make sure that we pin them out here, force them into a desperate ball, or maybe even force them into shooting from long distance. Now it's a foot race between Joel Linton and defender. He's managing to hold him off quite well, actually.
And he's there to cut it out. And that has been clubbed away. Tunis.
Not much going on in this half, it has to be said. That's a good early ball, but the goalkeeper's got it scouted the whole way.
Look completely out of sorts when it comes to crucial moments, Peter. They've lost composure and that killer instinct.
And he's going long.
Try the long ball, see if we can get in behind them. Unfortunately not, they've got it well scouted.
Looked promising, but
good header from
doing any harm.
the defender there. Play out wide again. They're not really going to do anything with the ball in that position. They're obviously anxious and wary of trying to play it through the middle. They see that we're stronger in that place. That's a good header.
Vinicius Junior.
They're really marking Vinicius Junior something heavy.
Juan Fran.
Very mindful of his ability on the ball, obviously.
Jonjo Shelvey.
Juan Fran, the number 10, which is unusual for a defender. We'll have to have a look at squad numbers at some point soon. But they get the ball out, and now on the break, perhaps Olympiacos could get some joy. They found their one man up front.
Cooks through there.
More players joining the attack. This could be something. Oh, it's very well intercepted. What a save! Martin Dubravka, you absolute worldie. Look at this for an absolute point-blank save. Just sticks a hand out instinctively and manages to pour it away like a giant goalkeeping bear. Very impressed with that.
Some activity.
We just need to make sure that we're alive to this corner. They're going to have deep runners come in. That's good though. And that's the end of the game. A pretty uneventful second half. But after a first half like that, can't really blame the boys too much. Just consoling the opposition. They should be consoling them. Conserving energy is what I was going to say. I don't do English good at all at the moment for some reason.
We're not backing off on this. We want it.
But at the end of the day, 2-0. It's about as much as we could ask for from the boys, especially with so many rotational changes made. A lot of squad players coming in, a lot of players that are pushing for starting berths. Hummel's form again, he's not looking great. He only scores a 5 in that one. Juan Fran only getting a 4.5. And Lascelles. They didn't like our defenders much. I wonder sometimes if it's a case of players being penalised too heavily for just not being involved, you know? Like, can you really rate a defender 4.5 if he hasn't allowed any goal-scoring opportunities of note? If we come away with a clean sheet, I don't know. I think maybe the rating system might need looking at. The other result in the group, Milan 3, Porto 1, which means Milan, if I'm not mistaken, go through in second place in our group. Real Madrid beat Zenit set 4-2. Copenhagen beaten by Fenerbahce at home 2-0. City, PSV and Olympique Lyon all getting wins, with Shakhtar and Atletico Madrid. Sorry, the cat is getting in my way. She really is being a bit of a cow today. Yep, Shakhtar and Atletico playing out to a surprise draw. Liverpool winning, Galatasaray and Juventus both with handsome results. PAOK and FC Bayern München of, well, Munich. FC Bayern Munich, they both have 1-0 wins. Their names: Young Boys beating Moscow 1-0, Napoli losing 3-1 to Barcelona, Dinamo Kiev 0, Benfica 4. So let's see how that affects the groups. First of all, we knew it was coming. Newcastle, perfect run with only 1 goal conceded. 18 points on the board, going through in first place in the group. Milan playing just after us, 12 points. So it will be Newcastle and Milan coming out from this group. Real Madrid and Zenit from Group B. No real surprise, it has to be said. although you would have thought that Fenerbahce might have been wanting to be a bit closer to their Russian rivals there. Manchester City and Roma coming out of Group C. PSV going to be very disappointed with their showing in that group. Atletico Madrid, no surprise, but Lyon finishing third. So they'll enter the Europa League, but really no right to be happy with that performance at all. Although they were only just runners-up to Shakhtar Donetsk, it is still third place. Dinamo Zagreb, the real whipping boys of that group. Group E, Liverpool and PSG, well, it was written in the stars from fairly early on that that was going to end up being between those two teams for qualification from Group E, and in fact it was Liverpool that ended up getting pole position. Group F, again, Juventus coming top, not surprising in the slightest. Tottenham Hotspur coming up in the runners-up position, so they'll both be qualifying from their group. And then Group G, Bayern Munich and Ajax qualifying, so a pretty straightforward group for their point of view. And Barcelona absolutely walking it in Group H, with Benfica qualifying 1 point ahead of Napoli. There's a lot of Italians that are going to feel very aggrieved at that. I think that they would probably tell you they'd be disappointed to be finishing behind Benfica in the Champions League group. So there we go. Now we know all of the teams that are going to be in the knockout stages of the Champions League. And I don't know if we're going to find out anytime soon who our opponent is going to be in the next round. We can have a look and see in the schedule if it tells us or not. We've got Roma, ladies and gentlemen. Roma in the Champions League knockout round, first knockout round. So there you go. The final 16, which I believe is the round before the quarterfinals. It's going to be Roma versus Newcastle. Roma get the home leg advantage in the first leg. Well, that's going to be an interesting one, but that isn't until February. We've got a long time to go until then, and we have another match to go until we wrap up this episode. Before that, looks like something's going on in negotiations. It is only scouting. Don't worry about that then. We'll have a look at that later. We've been offered the Juventus job. Again, not going to be taking it. This is an exclusive Newcastle save. We won't be going anywhere unless they fire us. So, well, at least until the rebuild job is complete. Like, let me know your thoughts on that, guys, whether once we've brought Newcastle back to the top, when we've won the Premier League, when we've won the Champions League, would you be interested in seeing us move on to another club, or do you want to see us build a bit of a dynasty at Newcastle? Hit me up in the comments with that, whether you want to stick around or whether you want to move on at some point. But talking about moving on, let's move on to the next game. This one against Chelsea at their home ground of Stamford Bridge. Everything looking pretty good from a team selection point of view. Hayden almost fully recovered after his exertions of the last few games. Shelvey not looking in the best of form. So probably what we'll do is we'll bring in Almiron for this. He deserves more starts after all. Lascelles, give to Thibaut a game, I think. This is just a rotation at this point. It's about keeping people fresh. I was really impressed with Joel Linton. I'm just wondering whether it might be an idea to actually go with him ahead of Werner. Even though Werner is in superb form, as you can see from the colour of that arrow by his name. I don't know. I think maybe we'll stick with what we've got at the moment, and then if it's goalless at half-time, we'll look at bringing the Brazilian off the bench. So here we go. We've not played any Champions League. Sorry, we've not played any Premier League games since the last time you joined me. I don't believe, anyway. So we are still in a pretty strong position in the league. 6 points clear last I saw. Oh my word, it's snowing.
What should be an intriguing game in conditions which may
this is the first time that I will have played
around this game, but not the least of them is
in the snow on PES 2020.
There were concerns that it could cause the match to be called off. I'm glad to report that hasn't been the case. The pitch has been well cleared.
Quite pretty, really.
The conditions will certainly add an extra.
Oh, and it's turned into sleet almost immediately. So it's basically just slow-moving rain at this point. That's a shame.
This place simply a monument to the game.
Right, I can't be too distracted by the snow. I have to concentrate on the big round white object in the middle of the pitch. Or at this point, near our penalty area.
So, Jim, tell me this, who are you looking for in particular here?
Not a great pass, but we've managed to make something of it.
He's one of the best around when it comes to close control with pace, and that makes him an explosive dribbler at times who's very tricky to stop. He's also a very good striker of the ball, especially from free kick situations, so the opposition will have to be careful about not giving away too many of those here.
Yeah,
although it's strange that they blow up for offside even though the ball never actually reached the player and it ended up in the possession of the opposition. I don't know what the rules are in football in real life about that, but I imagine that they would probably just allow play to go on, would they not?
Werner goes long.
Werner with a nice lofted through. Oh, okay, and the defenders just slid it out rather than deal with it. Junior was on the prowl there. Ball in.
Willian
gets the ball up to the striker.
Sade.
I didn't pay much attention to who was playing up front. I would imagine it's Tammy Abraham, but I could be wrong.
Does well there, alert. Vinicius Junior. Nkunku.
That's lovely spread of play there. Oh, that's good. Ah, it's just until the finish. The finish wasn't there, but the rest of the play was really quite good.
Out towards the flank. Plays it back.
Shot, oh, off the post. Oh, no. What a shame.
Jorginho tries to get it forward quickly. Could move up a gear here. Sané. Oh, that is asking for trouble.
Gotten away with that one a little bit, I think.
Mats Hummels. Still goalless.
Chelsea doing a very good job of boxing us in here, actually.
Willems drives it forward. Nkunku gets the better of his man.
Driven across the box. Couldn't find the man. Dangerous ball, but a little bit more placement and a little less power would have been optimal.
Gets it into the middle.
Good cross, good shot. Very wide.
Oh, just lacked a
trying the
finish.
spectacular when really the ordinary would have sufficed. Okay, we need to get the ball down and try playing it through the middle. Make the most of Werner.
Barkley.
When I said play it down the middle, I didn't mean right down the middle of the path of the opposition player. But there you go. Can't help what you're given sometimes, I suppose. Not the ball I wanted.
Maori. Hoists it forward, and now the breakaway. Willian tried to play it through.
Given offside.
Yeah, the idea was right. The delivery wasn't. They can revisit that further on.
Mats Hummels.
Nice little pass around the corner from
Vinicius
Hummels.
Junior.
Junior. Almiron. Out wide to Henriks.
Plays it out to the flank.
Plays it into the box. Gets another bite at it. Heads it off to Almiron. He's offside. Unfortunate. He was trying to get himself back onside, Werner, but the ball just played far too early for him, and in the end, he didn't have a chance.
Gets it upfield. Werner.
Chelsea have pushed both fullbacks into quite a
Oh, here we go.
positions
Ah, no.
It's interesting. So what are they attempting
Heading
to do?
straight for his opposite
it's a
number.
bold attempt. in my opinion, to occupy the opposition in a way they're not expecting.
Can't overcommit. We've got men
and
behind play.
Pair of heels. And here's Batshuayi, and the shot.
What the hell?
He's done it.
I won the ball, but then it immediately got given back to Batshuayi. It was 1-0 to Chelsea. Very disappointed with that, I have to say.
Bang in front of goal.
Yeah, and I think we may have had too many defenders ball watching then, because they just
He's very strong, that lad. Very strong, and I think that's played into his hands a little bit. Here's Batshuayi now holding the ball up, plays it out to the left, then back into him. Got two men trying to tackle him. A third one comes in, and he's just able to sidestep all of them. And how he's done that, I'll never know. We might see on this replay. The ball played back in. Just bobbles it loose, and it's just unfortunate for us. It's a luck of the bounce, it's a luck of the run of the ball. Regardless of how it happened, it has, and it's now 1-0 to Chelsea. We need to try and respond quickly if we can.
And Kunku plays it forward.
That's a good cross, it's headed off.
For a corner kick.
I like the shape of it, it was a nice whipped effort.
And that's been levered clear.
Hummel's not going to be able to get back onto that, unfortunately. Pressure. Ah, nearly.
Can get it clear. Werner.
I just couldn't turn quick enough to release the player. By the time I was turned and ready to play the pass, he'd already arrested his run. All the momentum lost, and momentum can be so important in this game. And now, talking about momentum, here's Chelsea with all of it.
It's a very good battle there, terrific to watch. That's good progress he's made on the ball. Where to next?
It's forced out a little bit wide, but it's a good position to be in still. Crossed in, shot, oh, that's beautiful! Beautiful goal there by Coco. Well taken, cushion volley on the left foot after Werner forced wide, just chipped the ball into his strike partner.
Peter, but it requires intelligent use of space and good understanding to pull it off.
Very nicely executed. Goalkeeper probably could be a little bit annoyed at the fact that he was beaten by a goal that wasn't tucked right into the corner. But either way, you have to say, what a lovely take.
What do you think we're up to after 45 minutes?
Well, we thought this would be close, Peter.
Well, it's been all us possession-wise, but Chelsea have had the better of it for the most part. Until the last kick of the first half, we were behind. So, just goes to show possession. Although it's 9/10 of the law, there's always that other tenth which can punish you sometimes.
For a little bit more from both parties in the second half, but the score at half-time is 1-1. If you're just back from your break, he's gone for it! And they've been caught out here. And another time!
It's a good header. Too far out and not enough power on it to trouble the goalkeeper. But he was forced to make a save nonetheless. It was on target.
Foyt. It's all a little short of forward momentum, lacking
good
thrust.
Front pressure. Got to try and keep that on them. See if we can force a mistake at the back. We have forced a mistake at the back. It's one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Oh no, terrible. Just waited far too long to release the shot. Probably should have looked for a lob, actually. But when you're in that moment, sometimes tunnel vision is the worst possible thing for you. Disappointing, but there you go.
And here's Batshuayi.
Batshuayi's not going to get another one of those goals.
Just very well played. He can hurt you with his back to goal, and he didn't go for the back.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Has a hit.
Oh, he's put it wide.
It's a carbon copy of the previous miss.
Newcastle really putting a few chances together here. Taking one can only add to such good momentum now.
I don't think I would have seen Maximan making that kind of mistake. But maybe that's just me having rose-tinted spectacles on. Back to it. Come on, boys.
Barkley gets it back.
That's not a foul. He didn't even touch him. Bunch of soft southern twats.
And here's Willian.
Ah, good tackle.
Well, the crowd clearly like what they just saw. Some real no-nonsense defending. Nicely measured pass.
Oh, nearly.
Cut it out.
It was the great idea, it's the right idea. Just slightly wrong placement of the pass. If he'd played it slightly further behind the opposition
Away
player.
from immediate danger. Willems.
What was that? That is not a pass that I was looking for.
Sane goes
That was a terrible pass, and now we're really caught on the break here. And if we're not careful, we could be in trouble. Goalkeeper needs to come out for this. He's not quick enough.
That looks a good ball.
Good clearance by the defender.
And he just whacks it away. Almiron.
Get it back into the midfield. Ah, he's completely lost it. I was blind to that player. I didn't even see him. Ah, another interception. Can we actually make something of this one?
Junior.
Oh, no, maybe. Oh, Jesus Christ. Offside.
Werner finds himself
Fucking hell. I'm starting to frustrate myself. Those are the moments where I feel like proper mastery of the trick stick would absolutely unlock those defences.
Jorginho. Loftus-Cheek. Keeps everyone guessing. Jorginho hits that long.
I have to look to make a change,
Chelsea
I think.
are making a change now.
Henriks has run his race. We haven't got anyone to replace him, so he's going to have to push on. Willems is pretty knackered as well, but Mathieu's not in the best of form, and playing Chelsea, I really don't want to put anyone on that's not on top line. I think Werner is going to be replaced by Joelinton, just to give us something different up front. That might be the only change that I'm willing to make, honestly. We're just going to knock it massively long. We've got a big target man up front. Big nasty bastard. He'll win headers all day long like that. Ah.
Look, this can still go either way. It might be flowing one way,
it's
but
that
there's still time
simple
for some ebb.
long ball that completely bypasses our entire midfield, and it puts us in real danger the moment that we lose control of the ball.
Clear.
We don't have anything like that ourselves, so maybe we should be looking at it. It feels like they're playing a much more counter-attacking game than we are.
As you would expect, but you couldn't help notice that he was
expect that of
starting
Chelsea.
to
They should
labour a
really
bit,
have
so
the
it's
confidence
no
in their
surprise.
ability as the air quotes
Chelsea
bigger
merit full
team.
marks for their attitude and application in trying to win this. It means an awful lot, obviously.
There's the ball. He's been tackled. Nobody mopping up after him as well. That's really infuriating. There's that simple long ball again.
Yield a winner.
Goes for goal.
Oh, he's taken the deflection.
Oh, he's managed to miss it.
Vinicius Junior fully appreciates that he could have won it then, and now he'll be all the keener not to lose it.
I think we're going to bring Ribery on for Junior, just to give us something a little bit different on that wing. It's probably too late to affect any massive change, but we'll see. Header! Oh!
Should have put that away.
Joelinton, very unlucky there. Every right to expect that to result in a possible goal.
Well,
Almiron's done very well here. Brilliant ball through. It's stuck under his feet. Coco, unfortunately, he's a speed demon, but he's not exactly the best where it comes to having the ball at feet.
You wonder if that's it now, but there may be one more opportunity, Peter, for a late steal here.
Cheeky little dink over the top. Nice cut inside with the pass.
Nkunku.
Looking at his options now.
Final seconds. This
Oh
has
my
to be
word.
It.
It's good inception, but it
Plenty of
bounces
appeals,
straight back
but
to the
referee
goalkeeper.
is not interested. Gagliardini.
Again with this long ball forward.
That's a foul. Simple decision for the referee.
I disagree with that call entirely, but there we are. Looks like it might end 1-1 if we can defend this correctly.
Henriks.
Yep, there we go, 1-1. I can't say it's the result that I was hoping for, but at the same time, it's still a point on the board. We were 6 points clear of Arsenal at the top of the table, and if results go our way, then we could maintain that gap.
More should have been made of.
Well, thanks for your company, Jim, and a very good day to you.
I mean, looking at those stats, Chelsea have one shot on target, and it resulted in a goal. That we've been absolutely FM'd. Absolutely fucking FM'd there. I'd be furious any other day, but I really can't be bothered today. Todibo only getting a 4.5, Willems a 5. The rest of the team 6s and 7s. I'm going to give up on these ratings. I don't think they reflect anything particularly. Chelsea 1, Newcastle 1 final result. Stoke also drawing with Bournemouth. Liverpool getting a 4-2 win to Fulham. Leicester beating West Ham and Aston Villa beating Tottenham. Brighton and Norwich drew 2-2. Everton 1, West Brom 0. Wolves 0, Manchester United 2, Arsenal 3, Southampton 1, so the gap will be shrinking at the top of the table, and Manchester City 1-0 winners against Crystal Palace, meaning that the table now looks like this. Newcastle United still top of the pile after 16 games played. We're not the most prolific of goal scorers at the moment, but it's the goals against that you want to look at. We are miserly where it comes to giving up goals. Arsenal, Manchester City and Manchester United all chasing us with Liverpool just behind. I'd say that's a good day's work all in all. So there we go. So next up, I don't think we're going to be showing the Manchester City match, if only because we actually want to make a little bit of progress on the save. So let's have a look. Well, the transfer window opens very soon, so maybe we will do a couple of matches through the transfer window. Certainly, we'll be giving you some updates as to what's going on with the transfers. We'll have a look at some transfers that we can do. Any suggestions for anyone that you might like to see come into the club, let us know in the comments. But until then, thank you very much for watching. Take care. I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.